may be deeper than we actually think. In a world of transhumanism, because that's what they say.
Shit, you made it sound like a dystopian Netflix movie just a while ago.
In the world of transhumanism, right? Because they say at one point.
Wait, say it one more time. Like, yo, that shit sound hard as fuck.
Hold on.
Yo.
In the world of transhumanism.
Hey! Netflix, cut the check!
The Podical sound.
Podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Not your average Joseph. Marvelous.
It's ridiculously funny.
Hola, I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above, podicalsons.com.
All of that.
All streaming platforms possible. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud. The list goes on and on to the other spots that I don't mention. Still love you, still bless.
Click that bell. Get yourself alerted.
YouTube, you can see us, hit the notifications, and then enjoy the show. How you feeling today?
I think I'm starting to warm up to the summer weather. Despite the shortcomings of the air quality. I stepped outside a few times and enjoyed some of the warmer weather that we've been having. Okay. So yeah, how about yourself, man?
Right, maintaining. I don't the air quality thing. To me, it doesn't really affect me, but I'm not one in the vulnerable sectors. I'm not one of those vulnerable community people.
Yeah.
So I want to say like the elderly, asthmatic types, all those and stuff, whatever. I do feel it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I have noticed the difference because I want to say Wednesday and Thursday, I had like a little cough going on and it dissipated come Friday, but I'm not a firefighter. And out of apparently, I don't really want to count the BC side because everybody's just looking at Canada in total.
Right.
When Canada in total, we have over 500 fires.
Yeah.
So the BC and Alberta side is a little different kind of beast and stuff, whatever, compared to the Ontario and the Quebec side, where in total it was like 500 and change plus, and I was like 290 or 280 something fires.
It's creeping up slowly.
Well, it was at 67. So that's not slowly creeping. That's a massive, that's 67 times 3, and you're still even over those numbers. So, I mean, like I said, to the vulnerable sector people, like thoughts and prayers to y'all. Please stay inside and advise and stuff and move properly amongst this weather. Shout out to Cleveland for finally getting a taste of it. I've seen some of the orange videos and footage and stuff like that, and we getting it out there stuff as well.
Just getting I mean, it's bound to happen.
Climate change, man. Yeah. Climate change. If you never thought climate change was real, but then again, you see when it comes to EV talks, EV talks is all right, picture this. You have a massive line at a gas station. You have a massive line at a gas station. Let's say gas is on sale for whatever discount change and shit like that. People are lined up. How long is a car at a pump?
Cars at a pump, probably I would say maximum maybe minute and 20 seconds.
To fill up and go? How long does it take to charge a Tesla or EV?
Right now, I think
Average.
The quickest one probably maybe 20 minutes.
20?
Might take, yeah.
Is it full charge?
Full charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was about to say, I'm like, there's something within there where either like, I guess, the influx of EV places to charge and like particular cars to charge. Because I want to say there's certain places like I see random Tesla spots.
Well,
but that charge? Go ahead.
Keep in mind that 20 minutes, like I'm speaking of like a lot of the cars that might have like the newer technology batteries. There's some of the EVs, some of the first gen EVs will most likely take longer than that.
Yeah,
most likely take longer than that.
They gotta beef that up because I'm about to say the forest fires. I'm not saying they're fully connected, but everything that we do is fucking with the climate.
Right.
So I mean, it's to say, all right, if we're going to make this massive change, are we going to feel it on another side of the scale and stuff? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, if you know it might happen or it might take place, what are the preventative issues and stuff we're going to put in place? Like if we look at forest fires and stuff, what preventative issues can you really do if there's just natural dry air, dry heat, and
there's really not much you can do to solve that issue there.
But like, okay, moving forward, like if we're going to move into an EV world, they said they're building up more and more of these places and these stations, whatever. I don't know, but you can't charge a Nissan Leaf at a Tesla charging station, can you?
Yeah, you know what?
Because I see more Tesla independent charging stations than I do of like the other places and stuff. Like I go to like superstores and all other places.
And at some point, I think they're most likely going to have to come to some sort of standard, just like how you have like your standard gas pump.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have to just be like, because you're right, if you're going to have all these charger stations and supercharger stations, what's the use of it if it's only going to charge one set of cars? And then if it's only going to charge one set of cars, then who's really going to compete with Tesla in the future if Tesla's already building those infrastructures in most of the major cities, right? Like if in most of these major cities, just is what you're saying, if you're looking for chargers, most of them are Tesla chargers, right? So from that standpoint, it'd almost be like you'd almost be a fool to not buy anything
like,
outside.
Oh shit! I'm about to buy this new Hyundai. That one of the Hyundai electric cars look slapping.
Yes,
I'm
yes, man.
I was like, but you about to run low on some juice and everything, and then you can't. You gotta keep driving till you get like a community station. Where there's like 6 Tesla things you don't pass.
I was looking at the Jeep the YJs. So they got right now it's it's a hybrid. It's not fully electric.
Okay.
So I that's why I haven't kind of like looked at it because I figure if I'm gonna make the leap, anything I make the leap into is gonna be like fully electric, right? So I'm looking at it and I'm saying like, yo, this looks nice. I say I wouldn't mind it if it was fully electric, but then I was like, it's gonna be one of those cars now, and not only that brand of manufacturer, but even with the Tesla cars too. Regardless to how much charging stations that's out there now, until they get that battery technology down to where it's like it's rapidly fast charging, and then they increase the amount, it's still not going to be amount to service any type of cars. So I think what's going to have to happen first is the change on how people think about their vehicles and how they think about fueling their vehicles. So if that means like if you understand that your next day commute is only a certain amount of miles, you better make sure your car's plugged in the night before and you're doing those certain amount of miles. And then on top of that, you got to understand, okay, where's my available destination? If my available destination is a destination I'm able to plug up, because some of those cars you have the adapter chargers that you can like plug into somebody's wall outlet, then plug into your car.
First and foremost, fuck you, because I don't know if you're paying electric at my house for your car. So if you want to come bring your portable shit, like what's going on?
Well, it's going to be a situation now where you're going to be able to tap, because if you think about it, right, if you have something set up like that, and now the city is saying, okay, remember back in the day? I don't know if you remember these cars, like the older cars where they needed, depending on where you lived, it was so cold you needed to have like a heater on the engine block. Okay,
too young for that.
So depending on where you were, it would be so cold that you'd have to have like a heater on your engine block, right?
Okay.
And these heaters, they had like just like a regular like AC plug. So then now some of the car barriers, those little small concrete, I don't know, those cylinder barriers that they put in parking lots to stop the cars from going forward anyway. They look like little bumpers. Some of them used to have outlets that you would plug your heater block in to keep the heater to keep the heat going and the engine warm.
Okay.
So if they can extend the energy coming off their grid to do that, then who's to say that now, okay, you can't just plug in your shit and then charge your electric car off of one of those heater blocks if it so happens to work that way.
Heater block, yes. But as I'm saying, stuff like if you live in bumfuck nowhere, you do your commute and do your missions, you're like, hey, I'm going to come see you. And I live way across, like, you know, what is it? City mouse, country mouse type of shit. I'm minding my BI. And then you're like, yo, I brought my adapter kit to charge up and stuff. Like, hold on there, city folk. Who said you can use my hydro now?
That's where you have to plan appropriately.
That's what the sounds like. You chipping in on the bills over here?
That's where you have to plan appropriately.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, yo, you might. If we thought we were getting like solo away from people and stuff, then be like, I don't like that person that much to get some juice off my grid. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's like a community grid or like they can read the fluctuation of shit kind of different to say like, all right, this is just gas. Yeah. Please don't charge me or like, you know, the regular schedule or some shit like that. But I don't know.
Nah, for it to like totally make sense, it's like, okay, it's got to have like the stupid amount of range on one charge to get out to the country folk guy and get back, right? The super fast charging, right? For the in-betweens when you might need the top-ups. And then, like I said, the education of people just understanding that, hey, you know, at some point, you may not see an electric charger for your car.
And your ass is grass.
On the way to success.
And your ass is grass. Okay. Let's get to the polls, man.
All right.
First poll of the week says, do you have a problem with Gen Z? And 100% for the hell yeah squad.
100%.
How do I start this? I'm not even trying to be politically correct. I'm just trying to be correct. Let me say this. All right. What's your beef for Gen Z? Do you have beef for Gen Z?
I think the energy is misguided. I think they have...
That didn't answer my question. Do you have beef for Gen Z? Is it a yes or is it a no? Or is it a maybe so?
At the misguided energy, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that would be my beef with them.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say your piece. That's all?
No, I'm saying what they are is a courage what the previous generation and the previous generation before did not have. And part of that is like the don't give a fuck attitude because they some of them don't see no future. Some of them are trying to create a future. Some of them are trying to just live in the present moment, not knowing what tomorrow is and reaching the stage of not giving a shit. And a lot of them are rebelling. I think if we were able to harness that energy and give them like some sort of direction, I think they would be the generation that would institute the change that we probably want to see. But I think they're too I don't think they're not cohesive as one. They're too misguided. I think that's the second.
I don't. Do I have a problem with Gen Z? Yes. My problem with Gen Z and stuff with Gen Z doesn't know tact. I think over a period of time and stuff where it went from no communication to decent communication where everything's fucking flowing.
Right.
There needs to be filters for this flow. It's the same thing. You have dams and torrents and all that type of stuff. Like sometimes the flow can destroy shit.
Right.
Sometimes their word and ideology and stuff can destroy, I want to say, peaceful settings or calm light settings and stuff. And I want to partially blame their parents and stuff for that, for not reining those things in or creating the filters and the dams. Because I think like the Gen Z kids that I've spoken to,
right,
who did have the filters set up,
right,
they can actually communicate to a decent level. But it's just that they're in the far minority few.
Right.
My opinion.
Right.
Because I don't know, it's for us as people. Let me say this. My father and my mother were Jamaican immigrants that came to North America, came from Canada, then go to America, you know what I'm saying? And they were doing their thing. over a period of time and stuff, the children and stuff has gotten educated better. My mom didn't graduate with a high school diploma. She had to get a GED, my father and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now the kids become educated and the generation after them becomes a little more educated and everything and stuff. And I want to say it used to be a world where you let the kids go outside and play. They fuck up, they understand, they learned the lesson, they kept it pushing. They're like porcelain dolls now.
Right.
They're like, I don't even see figurines anymore. You don't even hear the word figurines and stuff because the children are the new figurines.
Right.
And it's so crazy and stuff where, so we gotten more educated and most of us become more wealthier because I want to say, like we're talking about like, let's say money wise and stuff, whatever, you're probably making more income and stuff than what your parents were making and stuff back then. Yeah, times are different, times is all that type of stuff. But when we start adding on to these things, we start taking away from other values and stuff as well, like from these kids. Like, I don't understand, like the families got smaller.
Right.
It used to be like an army back then. Yeah. And then now it's just one kid. So now this one kid is the porcelain, the figurine you want to keep safe and filter everything else from. But then when they come to a specific age, you're like, go play. You treated kid like a god. You treated them like their patty can, their shit can make patty.
Right.
Sorry, that's Jamaican in me. But you know, like your farts smell like roses.
Yeah.
And it's wild to me because I look at it stuff as where everybody makes it seem like their kid can do no harm.
Right.
When their kid is probably doing the most harm.
Yeah.
So I look at them like, why didn't you guys rein these fuckers in before it got to this point? You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't wait till the appointed time to finally do something pertaining to them. Like, even like speech-wise and stuff, like I said, like there's some of them that have the filter, have the regards, have the speech thing. That you can tell that shit was implemented early.
Right.
When you hear other kids, you can tell that shit was never implemented. Or probably implemented, try to late. You get what I'm saying? So I look at this stuff as where in the full bring, yo, the parents are to blame why Gen Z are not the way they are. I blame the parents of Gen Z. So either if you could be a millennial, you could have been a Generation X who had a kid late. If you didn't do your due diligence, that's what it is.
Right.
That's my Jerry Springer thought.
How late do you think they might have tried to kick in, or what? How late would you consider too late?
7.
7? Yeah.
7. Age 7 and stuff is like a little too late.
And would you say even in this day and age, would you still say 7, or would you give it an even lower age?
No,
being that kids are learning even quicker at a younger age.
Even if they're learning kind of quicker and stuff, like I look at, and I'm not the perfect parent. I never stunt like I'm the perfect parent.
Right.
But I look at it stuff as where, yo, there's certain cues and stuff you have to be like aware to as a parent. Cause you know, like you have to look back and stuff like, all right, think about if you look at your kids do something and stuff, whatever, then don't you ask yourself, this part in your brain and be like, I can never do this shit to my parent. I can never say that to my parent.
Right.
And then now you're looking at stuff like, well, times have changed. I can understand this kind of dichotomy is a little bit different, but what would I allow? What would I not allow? And then not only myself, but we're a reflection and stuff of each other. My mom told me and stuff before I got married, whatever. She's like, thank God you're finally getting married. You're now somebody else's responsibility. Right. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She's like, yo, if you're not married, every fuck up you do, it comes back to me as parent. But when you're married or you're with somebody and stuff, we can blame your spouse for that. You were one way with me, but okay, the kid is not married. The parent has to take the blame. And it's only for so long and stuff too, because like I said, I don't feel sorry for 23, 24-year-olds that still want to blame their parents for shit. Right. Nah, you were grown from 18 in North America. Now you have to look at stuff like, okay, my parents probably fucked up and stuff or didn't do certain type of things for me or blah, blah, blah. I give you a 4-year recovery for that.
Right.
So like from 18 to 22, yo, you can hold the parents' weight and stuff on that, whatever. But when you switch over, nah, Doc, that's all on you. That's all on you. And it's part of the grooming shit because I look at it stuff where as a man out here dating and doing things and stuff like that, right? I'm talking to people and I can say like, shit, okay, the foundation was strong where you kind of came from. And then you can see some foundations and stuff that like, it was set up where I don't know, where some people just feel entitled or shit just automatically supposed to be like this. And this is where the adjustment period comes and be like, yo, times are different from what the fuck they were.
Right.
So if your daddy did everything for you, you can't expect every daddy to do things for you or every guy to be your daddy.
Right.
Unless it's a sugar daddy, ladies. Unless it's a sugar daddy.
This is Shug in front.
That's it. That's it.
Were you surprised that it was 100%?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Not because of the demographic and stuff for the show, but I look at it stuff as where I thought a good amount of, like, let's say, possible parents to the Gen Zs would kind of step in and stuff and be like, yo, my kid is not that bad, so I'm going to vote on the no side.
Right.
Shit. Like,
people know their kids.
Yo, hey, they like, fuck it, let the good times roll. I don't know. I hope these things would change a little bit to an extent for the Gen Z folk, because I want to look at this stuff as where me as a millennium, there was a time, I think you, Shorty, and I, we were all having a discussion on one of the episodes, how, like, you know, the generational gap between us.
Right.
And then the shit we're into. Like, I want to say the same thing. Shorty at the time, 20 generation, didn't give a fuck about politics. Me, mildly. And then you're kind of looking like everything that these motherfuckers do or think affects you in the latter run.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because I want to say, I didn't really take in consideration when you're talking about like the pension plan is going to get fucked up.
I was about to say,
and everything. I got a long time for the pension.
Pension was something that I knew from I was a preteen.
You heard.
Words that float
you
around.
Heard the word.
And it's like,
but did you give a fuck about
that's
a
for
pension?
old people.
All right.
Now I'm one of those old people.
And who gives a fuck about a pension?
Y'all better not be touching my pension.
Right. Your 401ks, your all the cat. You're looking, you're like, nah, man, I'm trying to live in a vida loca type of lifestyle and stuff. And my other issue with the Jenners, I call them Jenners. I'm an asshole.
You are an asshole.
I think with the Jenners, like the job thing. Like, they really, like I said, with the no filter shit, they really, like, these motherfuckers think like they're supposed to go to McDonald's and make like $50K from a part-time McDonald's job. Right. Like, make it make sense. And they're expecting other people to have this shit too.
It's fair to say that a lot of the expectations is not based in reality.
Those are my favorite words right there.
Yeah,
there's the truth. And there's their reality. People are living in their own reality. Shit that might work for them, but it's not the overall truth.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my take on it. Let's get to the next poll. The next poll said, should beauty pageants be discontinued? And this is 100% for this one as well. Like, yo, shout out to the peoples that participated. I've never seen
they came out
two back-to-back 100s and stuff, whatever.
They came out in full force.
These are just my madman thoughts and stuff when we pose some of these questions and everything like that. But okay, tell me why you think beauty pageants should be discontinued?
I don't think they should be discontinued.
I don't think so either.
I don't think they should.
Why didn't you vote in your own fucking business?
You're right. I should have.
You're a piece of shit. You should have been.
I should have been that one lone voice. Why didn't you vote in your own damn business?
I can't find my shit. It's so stupid. The algorithms and stuff. Those Instagram motherfuckers and stuff out there. The one y'all got time to fuck with Boozy and stuff, whatever. Y'all need to do some of these algorithm things. I don't like how this shit works. I have Podical Sons as my close friends.
Right.
I can barely see Podical Sons. I have to go hunt on my own personal account for Podical Sons.
You know what I think it might be? Because I think when I see our posts, I think if I don't see it when you first post it or I originally post it, sometimes my feed I'll scroll past it.
No. I can tell you this.
Yeah.
Myself,
right.
I can, let's say, if I'm the one putting up a meme on our side,
right,
and then I flicker right back to my personal page, I still can't find it.
Still can't find it.
So I was looking like, holy shit, I have to go searching or scrolling just to see the something to pop up on the story. Because even like the Associated Sons and all that type of stuff when we post, on my personal page, sometimes I don't see it till like a day later.
Yeah, I don't see ours right away.
So I was like, I don't know.
The only stuff that's instantaneous to me is like the stories.
Yes.
Like the stories, that stuff will pop up in my feed right away.
Meta, y'all fucking up out here.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Here's my thing.
One bit.
Should beauty pageants be discontinued? I'm not for it. I'll tell you why. If we're gonna say yes, then we need to agree that pretty privilege is a problem.
Right.
And we need to deal with that first before. Because I look at it stuff as where we know the prettier people, the good-looking people and stuff, they get a little bit more perks and twirls and all that type of stuff. So the beauty pageants were established before, I want to say, we kind of had that kind of train of thought. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, because it's kind of like, mirror, mirror of the wall, who's the fairest of them all, right? So we're looking at like princes from the feudal lord times have been, bring your fairest maidens.
Look, man.
It's been a beauty pageant without being officially called a beauty pageant.
Beauty is a desired trait. It's one of those, like, you know what I mean? You're looking for like strong to carry on the genes. You're also looking for beauty to carry on those genes as well. It's one of those traits.
I just had a vision of like some ox-built type of lady with luscious, gorgeous hair and like this tiny model face with like this. What is it? Burly body.
Burly.
I'm not dissing. I'm body positive. I'm just saying she's just a different kind of woman.
Listen, I'm just saying. I mean, it could be one thing that you're into.
So, okay, why would you think they want this beauty pageants to be discontinued? Because of the pretty privilege thing? Because some people are not beautiful or deem themselves beautiful?
At first, I thought that, but then I'm like, you know what? If we're not saying, doesn't matter what sex you're born with, whatever sex you determine in your mind can allow you to participate in one of these things. And we're now seeing evidence that a contestant can win on a merit that they are representing a specific community. What's the value of it now?
I can't remember this. I don't even know what the hell to say.
If you're looking at it from that point, what's the value of it now, right?
I get where you're coming from. You're right. Because, okay, let's look at beauty pageants in general. From like the toddlers and tiara type shits.
Yeah.
There's age criteria for let's say the toddler and tiara type shit.
Right.
There's age criterias, and I don't recall seeing too many boys past a specific age. So I want to say for babies, like the toddler tiara stuff, whatever, they might like, let's say Michael turns 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Michael ain't in this world no more, like at like 5 to like 12.
Nah.
It's all little girls.
Right.
So it went from mixed crowd to little girls. Now,
I always looked at bodybuilding like the male equivalent to like the beauty pageant thing.
You're not wrong.
That's how I always looked
I feel
at
like
it.
you're not wrong with that. Keep it a buck though, because I look at it stuff like it was kind of like that in my head.
Yeah.
And I always kind of looked at it like that. So if you weren't, I guess, this attractive model type girl, which you try to idolize and stuff and be like the model or the beauty pageant type chick, you had to be this buff and stuff kind of dude.
Right.
You had to be muscular.
Right.
I don't want to say even from shit like the Tom and Jerry's and stuff, when it came to like them going to the beach and stuff, you have, let's say, Tom in a onesie swimmer or whatever, right? Because he ain't got the buff body.
Right.
And then you got the other ones and stuff, I hear stuff in like the Speedo type, with the guns and the shade. Exactly.
Flexing.
So it's kind of like, for men, you have to do this. This is the imagery you're supposed to uphold. Women, vice versa. Now when we get to like the Miss Teen pageants and Miss Americas and stuff like that, those things.
Right.
It's more women.
Yes.
I haven't seen a guy type of thing. Now, what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're this guy.
Yeah.
And you're feeling like, that's not fair. Why can't I participate?
Right.
maybe if I say I identify as this,
Right.
I can now put myself in this pretty landscape. Correct?
It's only fair.
Okay.
It's only fair.
I remember the imagery. It was a plus size Asian person
It was.
who won over women in New Hampshire. Somewhere like that. Somewhere in New England.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the New England area, whatever. And there were women in uproars.
Uproar.
Because one woman said, clearly that's a guy.
Mhm.
Why the fuck am I losing to a guy in this pageant? And they're like, clearly everybody else has been eating carrots and celery sticks. This person is plus size.
Plus size.
It made a mockery of them because the person was saying like, why did I worked out, I starved myself, I prepped myself to lose to a fat person who's not even a woman.
This may be deeper than we actually think. In a world of transhumanism, because that's what they say.
This shit, you made it sound like a dystopian Netflix movie just a while ago.
In the world of transhumanism, right? Because they say at one point.
Wait, say it one more time. Like, yo, that shit sound hard as fuck.
Hold on.
Yo.
In the world of transhumanism.
Hey! Netflix, cut the check. Go ahead.
Where they're saying we're moving away from totally no genders at all, right? Everybody is just one body. They're I don't know. They're matrixing kids. They're growing kids in cabbage patches.
Actually,
right? At that point, what is the standard of beauty?
I think by that time you should be able to control. They control beauty because I mean, think about people who have the choice to try and make sure like the kids get this type of eye color and everything. So like when we're doing again to the genetic play,
right?
It's a movie called Gattaca. It's an older Kurt Russell flick, I believe.
Yeah.
Where like, yo, they basically make carbon copies of people and stuff. And it's kind of like, this is what it is. So I think if you can control to that degree, you can control the beauty, you can control the masses. I mean, they're controlling the masses now.
Yeah.
I don't want to get all like conspiracy theory but if you can control the masses, you can control how they look and how they identify and how they move.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of like, if there's an agenda to push and you're not fucking with the agenda, clearly you're the problem. You're the problem.
You're the
Like,
problem.
look at the people like when they came to the jab.
Yeah.
When they came to the jab and stuff, whatever. Like, well, I'm vaccinated, so I can go play everywhere and stuff, whatever. You're not vaccinated? Scum. 1-900. Hi, I like to point out scum over here. He's across the street from me. So it's kind of like if you're not with the bandwagon of like even like the Skittles community and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Hello, 1-800 scum. I found another one, and it's
they're lurking. They're all over the place.
You're not with us. If you're not rolling with us, you're gonna get rolled over.
Right.
So, to that point, I get where you're coming from. I feel like beauty pageants and stuff like they could be harmful because of the imagery.
Yeah.
But I look at it stuff as like, by whose standards? That's always my thing. Because I was like, to the beautiful slim women out there, I see y'all, I hear y'all. I like to cuddle.
Cuddling is a good thing. Cuddling is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that.
I want to feel warm.
You embrace. You like the embrace.
I like the embrace of a woman and everything like that. And this is just my upbringing or where I come from in my world. Now, there's a dude I know legit at my job.
Yeah.
I think he said if the woman is under like, I think he said if she's under 5'9" and she weighs over 125 pounds, he's not interested.
Under 5'9" and
so she's like 5'8" and she has to be a buck like 25 soaking wet. Anything more than 125, it's fat to him. So I was like,
yeah.
I was like, that should be like the weight of a titty or something. But I mean, that's just,
I mean,
what do I know? What do I know? So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, my standard and stuff, whatever, of beauty is different from the norm. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. I'm built different.
I'm not the runway model type. Like,
I'm not.
Yeah.
Like there's some newer ones I've seen that coming down the runway. When they turn around, they jiggle like Jello. I'm that kind of runway type.
Okay. If they're coming like that, then yeah.
I gotta find a group chat and send you this photo.
Okay.
I was like, this is the models looking like now? Okay. So I'm looking like, I don't even change the channel or break my neck to see Miss World, whatever the fuck.
Right.
When I hear the winner of Miss World, whatever the fuck, pretty is in the face for me. Sexy is in the body. Sure, you might be pretty, but it all depends what I deem, and beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
And that's one of the things, right? Because and I'll say that about the beauty contests. It's always a set criteria they're always judging by. Yeah. Right? And there's other things that can make a woman beautiful and make a woman sexy apart from looks. But those things are never explored to a full degree, right? They might give you a snippet here or give you a snippet here.
Oh, in the beauty pageant?
Yeah, but it's never enough that you can.
You're not gonna. Okay, you're right. You're not gonna get that full totality and stuff.
Right.
Like I say, a 50-50 split. You're not going to get that.
Yeah, you're not going to get it.
But that's the reason why you had the. What would you do if you win Miss America pageant? And then this is where you're like, I don't want a puppy. Snake puppies make everybody feel so warm inside and tingly, and everybody's okay to be a dog mom, even though you could adopt a kid or you could probably fuck somebody to have a kid, but dog moms are awesome, and yeah.
Do real men watch beauty pageants?
When's the last time you watched one? I can tell you the last time I watched one. I consider myself a real man. My dick, I have a dick. I was born a man. My gender is male.
Right.
And that's just how I...
But it's just not interesting to us.
So what are you looking for? What would make you watch a beauty pageant then? If they had an extra category or stuff, what would make you watch it?
You see, and that's where it is. I think men are more captivated by sex appeal than they are beauty.
Okay.
And I think...
So you need a sex appeal.
I think women are more hung up on the beauty aspect.
You think so? I don't think so.
The reason why I say that
shout out to the Jenners, because the Jenners and stuff are wearing like, just bras and panties outside. So it's just normalizing naked.
Right.
And that's the sexy you're talking about, right?
No.
What is the sexy you're talking about?
The sexy I'm talking about is not necessarily how you dress, but the attitude.
The persona.
The persona.
Okay.
Because tell you what.
Everybody feels like, and like, no, there's no shade to any women, but a lot of women are like, I'm a boss bitch. I'm top dog. I like there's dudes out here. I'm alpha male. I'm this. I'm that. Whatever. They're like just building. And
they may be able to fool some people, but for others, if it's not authentic, you can tell right away, right? Like I'm gonna send you this. I'll send you this post of this TikTok lady, right?
Okay.
She's her whole thing is classy dressed, so she'll dress like one of those moms from the 60s. The long pleated skirt, but the way how she looks though, and the way how she moves, bro, it's like the sexiest thing. And I'm like, you would probably never win a beauty pageant dressed like that, but you're turning heads on the street. And I'm saying,
what an ox say? Make your dick get odd like Rottweiler,
like Rottweiler. But you see her, she's on the street, and she's just like turning heads, and I'm like, okay, like that is an appeal. Like that is like that. There's something you're commanding somebody to pay attention to, and that's what I'm saying. Like that sort of it. You don't have to be half naked, but if you command my attention, and it's not from your like your drop dead gorgeous command my attention, you could have authority. You know, I mean, just the way you have the authority over things.
So okay. How would they market that as a?
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like that I wouldn't know how they market that. But
so because if you're gonna get rid of, and the same thing I was saying would pertain to the Teslas and all the type of EV world and stuff for there. We're in this world where we're so used to something. So now if you're gonna take away the something, what are you using to replace the something? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it has to work for us. Like give us an infrastructure to say we're removing beauty pageants and we want the women to hone in on sex appeal and attitude and aura. But then people will say they'll have the influences for that.
Right.
Because they look at influence. Some of them, most of the influencers I feel like they have more followers than most of these contestant winners. Or even these people who place in the contestant thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like it comes with an attitude like, oh, I like how such and such does her makeup and her family or her world looks kind of blah, blah, blah. So let's be like blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Right? And that part and stuff, hopefully we can learn to teach boys and girls and like men and women when they come at age.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a trophy spouse or be the trophy spouse? Because if we're talking all this pageant shit.
Ooh. I wouldn't mind being the trophy spouse.
Really?
Yeah.
So
because that's approaching house husband territory.
So you got to work out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
I'm about to say you got to make sure you put the workout in and stuff like that.
I'm going to the gym with the gym moms.
Okay.
That's part of the routine, right? Like you
some people
wake up and you have what was it that you go to the cappuccino? It wasn't cappuccino. It was.
Oh, you're talking about shorty punk ass?
Yeah.
Oh, with the frappe?
The frappe. Right after the frappe,
yeah.
You could be either one of those moms that go back home and eat bonbons, or you could be the other moms that join the other moms and go to the gym.
Because that's something like when I hear trophy wife, most of the time I was like, oh, okay, so she on her deem. She on her deem. Because like when I hear some of these, I call them the happily ever after make believe stories on Instagram, like, yeah, my man makes all the money and I just stay home and do it. I was like, I don't know if I'm paying for the body when you could be at the gym working on this body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm looking like, how many times do I have to pay for your body when like shit gets blown out of proportion?
Mm-hmm.
But I see it. Be the trophy spouse. I wouldn't, to be honest.
No.
I'd rather have the trophy. But then again, like the trophy got to play the position of the trophy. Be like, look, Barbie. Like you gotta uphold some shit if you're gonna be at home and stuff like that. So
send me home, baby. Trophy, I'll be right here.
Punk ass show you talking about I'm the soft girl. What the hell?
I'm the soft husband. That's what I am.
So BET Awards happened last weekend, right?
Yes.
So last Sunday when we were doing our thing and stuff, recording. BET Awards happened.
Shout out to Busta.
Shout out to Busta Rhymes. Bow Wow said, today's music is trash. Now, this has been a constant argument or a discussion, between, I want to say, not only just you and I, but I want to say even the generational kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? Do you agree?
I don't think the music itself is trash. I think what's being presented in mainstream
is trash.
I think there's way more quality music out there that's not being presented.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
I can agree to that. Because I look at it stuff, okay, we were talking about like 50 years of hip hop.
Right.
I want to say from way back when, let's say to my favorite real white rapper, Blondie. Like from like her Rapture days to even when KRS went on there to do his thing. And to even, I want to say to a new Anderson .Paak kind of world.
Yeah.
Where you're still getting curated good music and good lyrical content.
Right.
Like that along with the music.
Yeah.
I feel like that's still going to happen.
It is.
And it's still coming along because if you thought like, okay, Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, and those people and stuff were the last of the generation, I feel like you're just not giving anybody a shot.
Yeah. I think, make no mistake, true artistry, I don't think will ever die. I think like if you're born to do something and you're like your passion seeps through in what you do, then you have the ability to create timeless music. I think we're just in an era now where what's being presented to us, it's all algorithm based. Here today, we're not sure if it'll be around tomorrow music, right?
But you'll never know though.
Well,
because think about it, if like Mariah Carey Fantasy probably spin back then,
yeah.
Would you say that it would have stand the test of time and stuff 20 or 30 years down the line when you heard it? Because I can hear a song and still can't say if this song will be around and stuff in 20, 35 years.
No, but I think I'm hearing a lot of stuff now that I don't even hear within the next year or so. Like with like recent stuff. And that's something that I'm not used to. Like I grew up in an era where
radio was dominant. Radio would have spin.
Radio was dominant. Clubs, mixtapes, like even with mixtapes, right? Like you would have artists that were, blended in with older music, and older music would be blended in with the newer music. Like there would be like some transitioning with a cohesiveness now. Nowadays, it's you're getting like I was saying last week, like it might be straight of one thing, and then a constant bombardment of one thing, right? So so it becomes oversaturated. There's no variety that's happening with what's being played on radio today.
Facts.
And with not only radio but mainstream, and like I said, like that is part of the problem. It's not like there's no good music. There's tons of good music out there. Should I be hearing some stuff and I'll be like, why do we not hear more of you, right? But you don't fit the algorithm mode. You're and like I said, what's fitting the algorithm mode right now is it's all cookie cutter. And how long does cookie cutter stuff last? Like if I can't I'll feel the beat, right? But after you get over the beat, what's their meaningful, right? A lot of songs that you have,
you're looking for meaning because you're a person.
I'm purpose driven.
Exactly.
I'm purpose driven.
If you're there to say, I don't give a fuck, my whoever the fuck dumped me, A, B, C, D, E, F, U, and all that type of stuff, I'm not sure if some music is not purpose driven anymore.
No, it's not. And then it's not to say that the non-purpose music can't be like catching and can't stand the test of time either, right? It's like certain things has its place, like
the Macarena.
Akinelli put it in her mouth. Like I don't know the lyrics to that song, but I know the song. You know what I mean? Like
because it's catchy,
right? Because it's catchy. It's a time and it's a time and an emotion. Right?
You know no lyrics in that song?
Some lyrics. Some lyrics.
You never had your dick sucked before?
Some lyrics I know, right? But there's other songs where, like the message, like that's a song from like 70s. But that I know that song. Like I grew up on that song because that was just it painted pictures in my head anytime I listened to it.
And I kind of not even blame. I thank Diddy for that broken glass everywhere. And they just don't care. And then I was like, oh shit. And then I'm like, no, he stole that from Grandmaster Flash. He stole it. Then I heard the song. I was like, oh shit, this is the freaking song. I remember Diddy's thing with take hits from the 80s and make it sound so crazy. Yeah. So then when I hear it, like broken glass everywhere, I was like, oh. So the merge and the cohesive thing and stuff from like with the past to the thing, I get it.
Right.
I still feel like it's happening. Because think about it, we had Maria. And then you have Wild Thoughts.
It's happening. And even up to today, it's happening. Because if you notice, or you might have not noticed, but a lot of the trap songs now, they're like using a lot of sped up like 90s R&B stuff, or early 90s R&B stuff, or late 80s R&B stuff, and the tempos just sped up and they just put trap drums behind it.
Oh.
But again, like the lyrical content on top of it is not one that's going to hold me. It's just the mainstream stuff that is like, you know what I mean? It's rob this, shoot that, shake this, shake that. And every song does that. In the mainstream era.
A good portion of it. Do you think being successful from music is profound? Because think about the world we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're a musician too, as well, right?
Right.
I want to say if everything now is shake this, move that, lick this, kiss that, twerk, 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 give me money.
Right.
Will you still look at an artist and stuff as like, successful? Like compared to like the world you came from and stuff, where you're looking like if you knew your next door neighbor had a platinum album?
Yeah, I'd still consider them successful.
Okay.
Yeah, because but that's simply because the goalpost for success has been changed, right? It's like now you play now in order to reach success, you got to play by a new set of rules, right? So, in that regards and in that case, yeah, they're successful because they are playing by these new set of rules that get them to where they need to go.
Right, because the new set of rules and stuff is now like, all right, if the goalpost before is like this song has to move 100 people,
right?
Congrats. If the new goalpost and stuff is like, no, this song has to do 100 plus streams, goalpost is met.
Right.
Right? So I get it.
It's like, it's not to me to determine like whether I think it's good or not. If you've met your goalpost and your success, you're a success.
Okay, so would you respect a multi-platinum artist, let's say an artist who album went multi-platinum, or somebody you knew or knew of, not knew personally, knew of, had a successful real estate business? Who would you give the more respect to? This might be a podcast question. So you have multi-platinum artist who has a multi-platinum album,
right?
Success,
right?
And then you have a person that you know of who's built a business from like ground up, starting a business ground up, and I want to say has done well for themselves. Who do you respect more? Your world.
In my world?
Yeah.
I probably would respect the real estate person more.
Because you're a music person, so I'm curious. Why?
Well, to be a multi-platinum artist, that's really a feat that's done alone. Like along the way, like you've had to have
to have a successful business. I don't think people can do it alone.
Yeah, but you more likely to be able to do it in a real estate space than you would be able to do it in a music business. Like for you to go multi-platinum in a music space, you have to have a machine behind you. Right? It's not something. So? Yeah, it's not something where you can just start up and get to that point. Even those who've gotten to that point, who start off independent, at some point tapped into the machine.
But even
it may have not been like some sort of like I don't need all your help, but I need some of your help to get to that platinum status.
But if they were independent, that means the machine didn't get to them yet. But if they went major...
No, but I'm saying before they hit the platinum status. So if they're on the cusp, and then let's say they're close to gold. They're close to gold, right? And their whole thing is to get to that platinum status.
Yeah.
But they're in a position now where they can negotiate a really good partnership deal. They don't have to worry about being slave to anybody else. Let's work together because I know just on my own, my resources can't take me to platinum. Like I need to get some of your resources that I want to get to platinum. A real estate person, if they're really pushing hard enough, they make those deals, they close those deals, the reputation gets out there. It's more of a reputation thing with the real estate agent, right? You build your reputation gets out there, and your product that you're selling, although it's like you can't sell, like you're not selling that one person like a house every 2 or 3 years, like you might be selling somebody an album every 2 or 3 years. But that sold investment it's a big soul investment where, you know, the artist may sell an album for $10. You're selling the house for, you know, how much? Hundreds of thousands.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you probably have to do less work to be more successful.
Well said. I don't know. I look at it stuff as that for me, I do respect the real estate person more than the music person. Not really machine purpose wise. I respect it because it's more of a situation where, I don't know how to say, for me, it's more tangible. Like,
Right.
and I'm not a musician. I'm not saying it in those type of worlds because we are podcasters.
Right.
Right? Now, I look at it as stuff as where a lot of us or a lot of people, we look in this 1% world too much. It annoys me toward a level, like for me personally,
Yeah.
because kind of like I don't know. Like, I'm not saying not have nice things, not shoot high as fucking for all the above and everything, but if you can, what is it? If you can buy something 3 times over, buy something if you can buy it 3 times over.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't do that.
No.
Right? And a lot of times people look at some things as like those 1%ers, the musicians and stuff, as like, this is the standard, not somebody building businesses and climbing.
Right.
Is the standard.
Right.
So it's like, fuck your business. This person has already done did it. But I'm like, yeah, but that's not an everyday method because there's musicians out here constantly trying to be like that.
Right.
And they're not getting to that level of stuff. Whatever. So would you shit on them if they're not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times people are looking at it like that. And I was like, they're doing the best they can.
They are. Like, and it's
sometimes their
hard.
best is not good enough.
It's really hard
for a lens. For a lens that's looking at like, yo, 1%er?
Yeah.
If my lens is looking at 1% and stuff, you're not making a cut.
But this is what I'm saying, right? Like that those 1% that were those 1%ers that we're looking at, right? How many of them are 1%ers without the machine?
Yeah. Motherfuckers don't even think about the machine behind these things.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. When you say like to be a real estate agent, it's more tangible. Yeah, because that person really doesn't need that, that machine. If you make it and sell platinum plus without the machine, then you'll get more respect from me than the real estate agent. Because that is a hell of a grind that you did. That is a hell of a grind that you did.
Well said. Well said. And I am not mad at that. Yo, let me ask you. Do most people do what they could do, or do they do the best thing to do? So it's kind of like, let's say for food.
Right.
Let's say for food, general purposes, stuff, whatever. You could have a healthier kind of meal, with veg. Let's say, I don't know, a little bit of starch, protein, veg, some legumes.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, yo, fuck this. I'm about to get this burger. So you got the best thing to do.
Right.
And then what you could do is that. What do you think most people always choose?
I think most people choose what they could do.
Over the best?
Over the best things.
And I feel like that transcribes over to other things. Why do you think that though? Like, we know what's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But is this somewhere like in our brain to say like, nah? Like even like I look at like workout.
Right.
Like workout purpose and stuff, whatever. I say to myself like, yo, you know what? Real talk. I ain't have no movement like that today. I should at least go for a walk. I should at least, get some fresh air and all that. Because that's the best thing to do.
Right.
And then some people will still like to be like, I ain't got shit to do. Oh, I don't need to go outside.
Right.
Whatever, right? So it's like the could do. Why?
Right.
Well, is there something like in the brain that why do you think people won't do the best thing?
A path of the least resistance.
Explain.
Path of least resistance, man.
What's the resist? Go ahead.
Because a lot of times the things that you need to do or should do for yourself requires work. The body likes to be at rest. The body, being at any other state for the body means that there has to be something purpose driven, right? So, for instance, I'm not going to get up and go look for food unless I'm hungry.
Okay.
That's the purpose, right? I'm not going to go get up and walk unless I feel like exercising. That's the purpose, right? In order for your natural state is rest.
Okay.
In order for you to do anything other than rest, it becomes a challenge. It becomes something that you have to will yourself to do. You don't have to will yourself to rest. You just have to sit there and do nothing.
I can see that.
So now when we start applying these things, right? When we start, especially if we're so used to the routine of rest, that's the big problem. Is that a lot of us are so used to the routine of rest that when we try to interrupt it with something else, if we're not constant with the interruption, the rest just creeps back in. So for you now, because you walk more frequently, right? It's less of a hassle for you to fight off the urge of being lazy and saying, okay, I could do this, but I'm doing this because I know it's supposed to be good to me and I'm already in the mode of doing this, right?
Right.
But let somebody else who hasn't walked in the past year or so have the same thought. And you look at them, yo, are we going to go for that walk? You know what? I'm going to join you next week. That's the person that's going to come out their mouth.
Well, because I look at it like, all right, we do things and stuff like, all right. Like even, but if we're talking body-wise and stuff, let's talk about like, let's say, business-wise. Right? Like if you are a business person and stuff and everything, you know, you probably have to do umpteen amount of things for, let's say, your business to probably be successful.
Right.
Right? It might require work. It might take money. It might take certain type of things and stuff, whatever. And then some other people might be like, that's the best thing to do. But what I could do is just keep it pushing and stuff, whatever, with this basic shit. You shouldn't blame nobody else for your growth except yourself, correct?
You can't. You can't.
Because I look at it stuff as like, that ideology kind of sits on so many different like levels, like from like relationships.
Right.
Because if you're doing the best thing possible in your relationship, for a relationship.
Right.
It's not about like what you could do is like, you know, I could take her out to then. Or the best thing could do is to like plan something.
And I think sometimes it's trial and error, right? Because sometimes what you could do.
See what works for you.
Right. Because sometimes when
you said trial and error, like the light bulb went off and stuff in my dome. Like
sometimes what you could do could be something that just works for you without you doing too much, right? Like for instance, I know, okay, we do green screen work. From the research that I'm doing, like the brighter the lights, the better the green screen, the better the effect of the green screen, right? So I've been doing my research and so forth like that, just going back and forth. Now, I know the set of lights that I need, right?
Right.
And I know the set of lights that I should get, right?
Right.
But them set of lights, it's expensive as fuck.
Be like $10 million.
They're expensive as fuck.
And then what you could do. So what you could do, you work with what you got.
So now, okay, what could I do, right? And after figuring out what could I do, does it work?
But how long are you doing the could do for?
No, but I'm not. If I do a could do 2-3 times and it doesn't work, no, that's it.
So if it works and stuff, whatever, then people will continuously do the could do.
If it works, then you can. Why would you like? If I find a solution that's going to save me hundreds of thousands of dollars, then why would I budge from that solution? You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So sometimes the could do is like it may work. It may work for you with that. You know, it might not always be the shit.
What about the growth? Like I don't know. Maybe because I'm concerned. I'm not more in the growth and development aspect.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at myself as like, how long can I do this for? Like, this is good for me. This is good.
Right.
But I want great results. So how long can I do good for and just expect great without doing great shit?
No, but if you want great results, right? Then you move off from the good. But you know at least that good works. Right? And it can carry you if you just want to stay at that level, right? But you're pushing for great. So you're gonna move on from that. Now, not to say that eventually I won't buy the $100,000 lights, right? But maybe the good can carry me to that point where now that $100,000 lights, it's not even a thought in my mind.
Well, because you're looking at that good, great transition and stuff, whatever, is now a new goal.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. You're again, it's the growth.
Right.
The elevation.
It's the elevation.
And that's what I'm digging and stuff for that. Because I feel like a lot of times people look like even like fast food.
Yeah.
I come in late, I probably can't do X, Y, and Z or something. Let me just buy a burger from McDonald's. Let me just cut the check. Let me just buy a burger or fast food, something and stuff for the period of time. It works.
It works.
It works.
It works.
But we know like how long could this really go for and stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying? When you could step it up. You could try and cook a meal.
Yeah.
You can try and do a meal prep type of thing and stuff. Why don't you create the time and stuff, whatever? But if it's taking you, if it considers like work or you're looking at it as work, then there's no elevation and stuff, whatever to it. And there's no motivation to the movement.
And then the next thing also I think is like how far down the road do you see in whatever that you're doing or whatever that you're trying to achieve, right?
Speak on that. Talk about it.
Okay. Again, back with the lights in the green screen, right?
Yeah.
I know that this is what we do.
Right.
Right? So is it really gonna be a kicker if I invest in those lights now and get them now and set it up in the space? Right? I know I'm gonna get there eventually. Why not just make the investment now? Why not put my money where my mouth is? If that's what I'm looking at, if that's the quality, what I want, why not get the quality now? Right? That was how I looked at it with the mics. Right? When it got to the point, it's like, oh shit, we're not turning back. Why am I not? Why are we not sounding like everybody else?
Correct. Okay, the turning back aspect. See, I'm looking at this stuff. You're explaining pertaining to like setup and stuff. In my head, I'm even looking at like even relationship.
Right.
If your overall goal is to be husband.
Yes.
Right? Your overall goal is to be husband and you out here every night doing the most and stuff like that with different type of women and shit like that. That's not the goal. Like your goal isn't to be husband.
Right.
So if your goal is to be husband and stuff, whatever, you now have to I want to say, transform yourself, your mind state first.
Yes.
Into like, what would a proper husband look like?
Right.
And now you have to take set steps.
Exactly.
Because and this is like the overall, like, where do you see yourself? So if you're seeing yourself for these type of things, if you see yourself with like a bigger vision, bigger landscape or like pertaining to the setup, yeah, you got to have some kind of vision.
Right.
But I feel like a lot of visions and stuff are not really set. And then people looking like, I'm going to do this because this works for me. Why didn't I elevate or why didn't shit change?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well played.
Well played.
Well played.
Someone get comfortable along the way, but that's the whole other story.
People get comfortable
along the way.
But if you're doing what works for you, why wouldn't you get comfortable?
Yeah. Yeah.
So comfortability is a bad thing then now.
And in that situation, right? Like it is. If you don't have the motivation to elevate yourself, then it's going to be a bad thing. But maybe not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe that's where you want to be. Maybe that's where you work
towards that, though.
You work towards.
So I'm about to say, a lot of things are not overnight.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in one night. I don't want to always use that analogy, but it looks like, yeah, if you have this as a goal and stuff, what are you doing working towards your goal?
Yeah.
What are the steps that you're taking to work towards your goal? And I feel like a lot of times and stuff with people, they're looking at it, what I could do works better for me, come up with the best thing to do.
Yeah. It's you're right. It's in every aspect. Yeah. When you get a chance, like that YouTube video that I sent you and I said that the title's misleading.
Yeah.
Peep that. Because he's
tell the people about it because they probably might be interested into it too.
Yeah. He was basically talking about he was an artist and he actually went to jail for basically gaming the system. And
What is gaming the system?
well, basically finding out how a system works and then using it to his advantage. So he was one of the first guys to actually develop like bot farms.
Okay.
And like get like streaming numbers, building streaming numbers and so forth like that. And he's basically, one of the things that he was basically saying is that, you know, where do you see yourself? How do you see yourself getting to where you're going? And he goes, he laughed at all these artists when, you know, they come to him and say, I just spent like 20 grand producing and shooting a video for this song, right? And then they'd be like, they know what I do. They know like I'm the reason why your favorite artist pop. And I'll be like, okay, cool. Give me 10K. Let me set up a plan for you. Get you on the streaming numbers. Get everything popping and so forth, like get it up. Nah, man. He goes, you don't want to do that, but you're quick to turn around and go buy a dookie rope chain, a big pendant around your neck.
For 30K.
And Gucci shoes.
For 30K.
For 30K.
When the 10K to help.
When the 10K could take you from here to here, you already know what I do.
Yeah, so they clearly didn't choose the best thing to do.
You didn't choose the best thing to do. You chose what you could do.
You all right? You still talking about a place of pain? You all right? We're here for you.
The angst.
We're here.
The angst.
We're here. Yeah.
But because we talk, I mean, the stuff we talk about all the time. We see it.
You're right. The things we do talk about and the things we do see. I want to say, I don't want to sound so preachy, but real life decisions, real life things.
Right.
It's just that a lot of times, especially when it comes to the things that we talk about, I don't try to look at the macro. I try to look at the micro and kind of solve the issue and stuff from there.
Yeah.
Now, it's up to their interpretation of whosoever listens to it. But it's kind of like, I'm always curious because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just the only weirdo with this thought. And I'm like, am I crazy?
Right.
Because I always look at the stuff as like, if we're supposed to do what's the best thing to do, why aren't majority of us choosing to do the best thing?
Yeah.
Why are we just, I don't want to say settling, but I just want to the could do thing. Because I'm like, the could do could work temporary.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if the overall stuff is to go be, instead of why be good, go be great, why are we just going to settle with the okay? Got true. Let's get, okay. Let's get to the question of the week, man. Question of the week. Ooh, question of the week. What do you consider to be a smart investment?
At one point, I would have said real estate.
At one point,
I don't know.
At this point, are you not saying that? Because I was waiting for
I'm like, I don't know if you can get in on the real estate nowadays.
Keep it above.
Yeah.
Keep it above.
So you might have to find something else to get in on. But at one point, it was just, I mean, not to say that it's still not a safe bet. It's just hard to get into now.
I said crypto.
Crypto?
I said crypto because I look at it and stuff as the more and more, I myself I consider myself an analog person.
Right.
Right. And I'm like far, few and wide. I kind of fallen with the older generation. Like I want to say most millennials that I know, they're more digital forward than I am.
Right.
Right. Like I look at it where, hell, I think I was looking at some AI app and stuff whatever earlier. I was like, oh, okay. I went to go download and once the bitch was like, hey, for this amount of, don't ask me for my credit card information. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And some people and stuff just, because everything's already saved and programmed, it's just like click, click, boom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's natural to them, right? I'm a little different and stuff to that level. So now I do know that currency exchange, like I want to say that currencies and stuff are just popping up different levels and stuff in the world.
Yeah.
We talked about BRICS before. We see how the transition of the world. I feel like eventually a cryptocurrency or even something that I want to say like an NFT pertain to like cryptocurrencies would be a smart investment because right now, like we're living in times of, I want to say digital uncertainty, but they're trying to hone in more on the digital currency than they are trying to hone in on other things.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to say And I want to say e-transfers is what the language we use here in Canada. Cash App, Zelle is languages that they use and stuff in America. And eventually, all other places need to speak the same language.
Right.
Right? This is close to UK, Asia, and everything. And we don't speak Cash App with American.
No. I think the closest thing that we have right now will most likely be PayPal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And PayPal and stuff, whatever I say, they didn't put too much energy and stuff into PayPal to make it to be that. So now we're in that dance and stuff where finding a crypto will be a smart investment and stuff leading towards the future. My opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion. Okay.
Any particular ones that you've been looking at or that you would consider, or is it just...
No, do your research. Don't blame me for shit.
Because I think...
Don't blame me for shit.
Because I think that's one of the things that keep people kind of comprehensive about getting into that space.
But they have to do research because I think the thing and stuff is... And that goes about like people. Like if you're force-fed, like, all right, if Bitcoin is the only thing you know about and stuff, whatever.
Right.
Why are we saying cryptocurrencies?
Right.
I'm not saying currency. C's with a plural. Like there's more than one.
Right.
You got to do your own research. A lot of people feel like they don't want to do their own research. I have tons of people come to me like, I don't want to do nothing. I just want to give somebody my money and let them invest and do all the type of stuff. I'm like, but if you can't get in contact with the person when you're ready for your money now,
yeah,
then who's to blame for that? Isn't it you? You got to be responsible. You got to take some responsibility and stuff. You got to be in charge of your own fate.
It's true. It's true.
Find your own shit. Don't blame Marv. I see
Marv ain't got no hot picks.
Yeah.
Marv don't got no hot picks.
Hey, no. Let's get to the Ask the Sons for the show. First Ask the Sons comes from NoPantsShelley. What villain can you just not hate? I can't hate Magneto.
No.
I get something in my heart. I can never hate Magneto from X-Men. Because the man is fighting for like a cause, for like the people like, yo, we're this minority. We're getting bullied and everything. And it's kind of like, nah, my minority people are great. I can't hate Magneto.
Magneto.
Jerry from Tom and Jerry. We were talking about Tom and Jerry earlier. I can't hate Jerry. Who's a villain to you? Jerry. Jerry's the villain, no?
Loki.
Whose house is it? Is it Tom's house or is it Jerry's house?
It's Tom's house.
Jerry's the fucking villain.
It's Tom's house.
Jerry's the villain.
Jerry's the villain because the racist black mammy got Tom.
Why? Because she don't like mouse?
Got Tom to get rid of Jerry.
Yeah. So why is he racist for? Because she want to get rid of the rat? She don't like the 6'9" in the house? Is that what it is? She don't want no gunners in the spot?
Racist nanny.
Wow. Jerry's the fucking villain.
Low-key, the villain.
But it's just that, like I said, for Jerry, I look at Jerry, look at him like, yo, I can't hate on him because the man's looking for shelter and food, and it's a rat's life. They're going for the cheese. Okay.
I feel sorry for Wile E. Coyote.
You consider him a villain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Consider him a villain.
I consider him a rich dude that just never bought food. You can buy every fucking explosion advice and everything and stuff like that. Just order a pizza. Fuck that bird. Yo, you can get chicken on your pizza. I was about to
say just order the bird.
Yeah, just order the bird. Let me get a Cook Roadrunner. You're spending all this money for what? Acme?
Pizza.
Roadrunner pizza, man. Okay. Next question comes from PrincessSugar. What is your I hate this song?
Hey, Margarita.
Oh, yeah, Macarena. Gucci gang, 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 all day, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Oh no, what's the other one he did with Kanye?
You're such a fucking slut.
Yeah,
I love it. You hate that song? I'm a sick fuck. I like the quick fuck. I'm a sick fuck. I like the quick fuck. That's a problem.
Sounds annoying as hell.
Why like you look stressed? You look
The beat's catchy.
the beat is catchy.
The beat is
catchy. All right, shit. We're swimming through these. Blue C22 says, "What do you feel that you are losing interest in as you get older?" This is a good damn question. I say that shit every day. Video games used to be my thing.
Yeah.
Video games used to be my thing. Everybody knew me as a gamer. Everybody knew me as a gamer and stuff like that. And it's like, I want to say, even with the older shit, I said this to myself. Modern Warfare, the first Call of Duty, came out on PS3.
Right.
When it came out on PS3, I adored it. I loved it and all the above. Other Call of Duties came out, didn't really have that attention and stuff and appeal to me.
Yeah.
You know, so I bought other ones and stuff as well. Lean over and stuff to like the PS4. I find myself re-downloading a remastered version of the of the older one. So I feel like I'm in like a nostalgic, I want to say comfort kind of thing, but I'm in like a more of a thing where, yeah, I really don't have the interest of like bouncy suits, digital fly, Fortnite shit.
I think, and I was about to say, I think for me, like the whole video game thing, like when it went to like the whole online model, I think that's where it kind of lost me. I was like more.
I dig that because
I think I was more interested in like the whole story development and like.
Okay.
And you know, like
that's on the game developer.
Yeah.
You can blame the game developer and stuff for that one and stuff, whatever, right? Because I look at it stuff as like most of the time, that's more of my thing. I look at it stuff as the game developer is that person to say, all right, you know what, let me concentrate more on the storyline, the more the online type of aspect. The online aspect I love.
Right.
The reason why I love it so much is because I want to say Street Fighter is my shit.
Right.
Street Fighter is my shit. Let me say that. I'll still play a Street Fighter no matter what it is and stuff like that. If it's Capcom made and some fighting, salute to Capcom, cut the check. I'll play it. Part of me and stuff deep down inside, I always look to play with people.
Yeah.
My friends personally, my friends or family and stuff, they're like, no, you're too good. We don't want to play with you.
Right.
And it hurts me. So I'm looking like, okay, now we're online. I can play with other good people.
Right.
And I dig that.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same thing. I don't want to just be the best all you guys and stuff like that. I want to see if I can top a top. So online thing, I like.
Yeah.
But another thing for me too is fashion.
Okay.
Fashion, I like my colors.
Right.
When it comes to fashion, I like colors. You won't see me wearing no, I don't know, Bobby Brown outfit, you know, or like the couture shit. Because Balenciaga, whoever the fuck made it, whatever, right? No shame and no disrespect to them.
Right.
But that's just me.
Right.
I look at stuff like, yo, if the colors and the look looks well for me, that's what I care about.
Yeah.
I don't really care about who made this and everything. I remember one day, the first time I heard Celine, I even thought Celine was spelled with an S. I'm like, what Celine is? They're like, oh, you know the clothing company, but brand Celine. I'm like, no. I'm like, what do they make? And I see them like, yeah, that's regular clothes.
Yeah.
They just put the Celine logo on there.
Yeah.
I can give a fuck about if it has a Celine logo or not. See, there's so many things. What are the things for you? Let me hear yours.
Yeah, like I was saying, video games is one.
I'm trying to piggyback my shit. I didn't know you as no damn gamer, man.
I was never a gamer, but I was always into gaming systems and like, you know, always looking to the next thing. And if it was like a big gaming title, like I would always be into it. I think the last game that I played would have been the one with Kratos. What's that one there?
God of War.
God of War. Again, because like I like the storyline and stuff like that. So I'm intrigued into that. The Call of Duty stuff, like the once they moved into that one, I think there was one was just online stuff. And it was just no role, like you couldn't do any missions or any.
Call of Duty?
Yeah.
No, all of them you have to.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them you have to. They have a story. I think that's what sells Call of Duty. Can you remember there was a controversial one where the whole airport got shot up. That's
I remember
in
this.
story.
I think that's the last one I played.
And that's in story mode.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of the things they do, like that's kind of epic. It's
Right.
more in story mode and stuff. Now I think they just got more into a war zone kind of thing because, again, the online thing, that's on the developer.
Right.
They look at it stuff as like, hey, people want to care about playing with each other more than they want to care about like the actual story thing.
Yeah.
So there's not really a feature too much.
Even
What
like
else?
the GTA, I used to like playing, but that you can only do it if it's online.
So just video games? Okay.
No, there's amusement parks. The other day when we were talking, I think it was 2 days ago, we were talking about Wonderland when the Wonderland commercial came on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just have no
desire.
I just have no desire to just like ride rides. You know, it's like, and as a kid, I used to like love riding rides and just never understood why grown-ups would never get on rides and just walk around the park. Sad to say, I'm one of those grown-ups that if I end up there, I'll probably just be walking around the park
You're not fucking
and
with
not
it,
riding.
Really?
Because it just doesn't interest me.
I don't mind certain type of things, but I want to say after social media motherfucker, man. They're showing all these kind of collapse, kind of like amusement park things and everything like that. It's not
Keep in mind, it's always been happening. We're just not seeing it.
Right. Like it's just
We're just not seeing it. That's all.
It's a collective. You can Google this shit and be like, roller coaster, amusement park mishaps and some shit.
That's it. Just spend a day and you'll never ride another
You know what I
ride
was thinking
again.
about too? I think the older I get, let me read this shit one more time. What do you feel that you are losing interest in as the older you get? Yeah, I thought it. Impressing people. More so impressing women. I think as a youth, I want to say there was like, you would try to dress this type of way to hopefully get the attraction or the attention of a type of woman and everything like that. Right. And I think the comfortability in your own skin, or let's say, I'll say for myself, comfortability in my own skin, wasn't fully there to where it is and stuff like now.
Right.
Or even like, I want to say even a few years ago. So it's kind of like, either love me or leave me alone. But and that's exactly like really and truly, because I look at it stuff as that if I'm to talk to a woman to, let's say, pick her up or something like that, the vibe and stuff is not really, I'm gonna say just like so much less pressure. Because it's kind of like if I see you and I feel like if you're a woman, be like, hey, how you doing? You gave me a look like, who the fuck are you? Sorry to bother you.
Right.
Keep it pushing.
Right.
And then I got a situation like, wait, where you going? I was like, yeah, I ain't like how your attitude looked and stuff for that, so I don't want to bother you like you had a shitty day. No, I was just thinking about something and stuff like that. Hi, I'm such and such. I'm like, you seem dangerous. Don't touch me. And so me and a woman, we got into a whole thing. And I was like, she's like, yo, you don't care to impress you, but you try to walk up to talk to me. But I'm like, it's true, but I don't. I don't have the desire to impress anybody.
And do you think part of that, as you grow older, you realize that, you know what, some of these things that women were hung up on when they were younger, they're not so much hung up on now that they're older.
No, it's gonna be it'll be a hot take. Women gonna hate me today.
They're gonna hate you. Let me hear it.
Hear it. The maturity of the woman.
Maturity of the woman. Yeah.
The maturity of the woman. And that's what I look at and stuff. I want to heal, meaning you went through some trauma and you found a way to heal and evolve.
Right.
From there, I can determine where your level of maturity and stuff is, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when you still expect certain Cinderella kind of aspect things and stuff, whatever, you're not mature enough for me.
Right.
So, and I look at it stuff as where certain things has come in, because again, shout out to the day one Podical Sons listeners. This is nothing new I've never said. One of my favorite song lines is what? Diddy?
Yeah.
I can't impress you with the cars and the wealth because any woman willing to drive it get it herself. So if you're doing all that shit in your world, you don't need me.
No.
If I'm there, that means you want me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I look at it stuff as it comes down to stuff to more of that. So if I have to impress you to say like dun 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 dun, younger Marv, yeah. Older Marv, no. I'm involved my damn self and stuff, whatever. Like I'm way more mature. I don't need a woman. I want a woman.
Yeah.
But good old Smooth likes to be
difference.
needed. He likes to be needed.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
They need me.
They need him, boy. They need him.
Need me in your life.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately,
King Tingling is in the building.
I'm claimed.
Sorry, ladies. Hope for the Matrix clone that he can do. Oh, me.
Marv over here.
I'm not needed.
Marv over here.
I'm not needed. I'm available. I'm not needed. And on that note, we are at the end. So
ain't mad at it. Ain't mad at this episode.
All right. Hit him off with the So Say the Suns. So Say the Suns this week is kind of self-explanatory, but I will say it anyway. So Say the Suns this week says, optimists keep a spark going while pessimists look to blow it out.
So says the Suns.
Don't let these people try to kill your dreams or anything they have to say and stuff or doubt and all that type of stuff. You only allow the doubt to kind of come in. Please don't let nobody blow out your spark that you have or that good feeling you have. I champion, if you're ever listening, Tika the accountant, random. It's a follower. We appreciate you both, like on the Podical Sun side, a transition in her world.
Yeah.
I looked at it stuff as like, oh shit, this was a different kind of person to like, to where she is and stuff, whatever now.
Right.
I looked at it stuff as like, yo, hi. Appreciate you following the Podical Sons.
Yeah.
We do this anyway, folks. So if you want to holler, don't hesitate and stuff to hit us in the DM on the platforms. We do talk back. So it's just like, yo, I champion the growth that I seen. Not mad at it. Keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Send me like a nice audio voice note where like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you pay attention. You guys really do pay attention to your listeners.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? So I'm like, we do.
Yeah.
Why do you think the Ask the Sons is here? It's just that, it's too many questions.
Too many questions.
Work with us.
Too many questions.
Bear with us. But when you do send them and stuff, and I am kind of fucking biased, I blame myself for that. But if I know you and you harass me, your shit might kind of come up to the top. But make your voice be heard, and I guarantee you your shit will be seen and heard by the masses. So say to Marv, damn it.
I second his emotion.
All right. So say the Sons.
I second his emotion and motion.
Damn it. So yes, but man, I feel like a pessimistic person, you can't stop them from being who they are.
Nah, you can't.
You just can't allow that if you're an optimistic person.
No.
To let things stop you from doing what you think is the right thing to do or the best thing
or the best thing to do.
Full circle. That's it this week, man.
That's it. All right.
Good?
I'm good, man.
All right.
I'm good.
Thanks again, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. YouTube, you see us, and you'll see all the great stuff and the debonair freebie looks.
If you notice, the beard is coming in nicely. It's regaining.
You're damn right.
It's regaining its luster.
All I need is one
show
month.
By show.
1 month.
Show by show.
All I need is 1 month. 1 month. 1 month, I'll be back, man. 2 months, 60 days. I got this.
We got this.
Once again, folks, thank you for listening to the Podical Sons. Remember the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace and love, y'all.
Peace.
Thanks again.
The Podical Sons was not your average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.